I'm Christine Frizzau in Washington. The pardon of Hunter Biden by his father, former President Joe Biden, has appeared to get under President Trump's skin since it happened. But that pardon is just one of hundreds at the center of an investigation by the GOP-led House Oversight Committee, which argues in a brand new report President Biden's so-called cognitive decline, combined with his use of the Autopen, warrants a second look by the Justice Department. The issue has ranked high on the current presidential priority list.
The Autopen, I think, is maybe one of the biggest scandals that we've had in 50 to 100 years.
Donald Trump even releasing a presidential portrait of his predecessor, depicting an Autopen instead of President Biden's face, as the GOP-led House Oversight Committee has spent the last several months investigating. They've just released this report entitled The Biden Autopen Presidency: Decline, Delusion, and Deception in the White House. Also making public more than a dozen interviews with top Biden officials and his doctor.
Were you ever told to lie about the president's health?
On the advice of counsel, I must respectfully decline to answer.
At the center of the investigations, questions about who was actually making key policy decisions, including executive orders and pardons. Republican lawmakers asserting as President Biden declined, his staff abused the Autopen and a lax chain of command policy to effect executive actions that lack any documentation of whether they were in fact authorized. Also questioning President Biden's chief of staff, Jeff Zients, on the matter.
Can you read your response?
I approve the use of the Autopen for the execution of all the following pardons. Thanks, Jay-Z.
Did you yourself write this email?
I do not believe I did.
Who did?
Rosa.
Responses like this leading them to ask the Justice Department to look into whether executive actions and pardons signed by the Autopen should be deemed invalid, despite President Biden telling the New York Times in July that when it came to clemency decisions, he made every single one, adding the Autopen was used to sign the warrants because there were a lot of them. Democrats on the committee called the investigation a sham and released their own report, insisting Republicans failed to produce any evidence of wrongdoing, saying while House Republicans obsess about President Biden's health, they're ripping away health care from 17 million Americans. I'm Christine Frizzau reporting.